Woo woo! There it is. We are live, and Nan's just over here singing around because
Just still
whatever.
singing. That's all. I'm happy. It's Monday and we're ready to rock and roll. So let's do this thing.
Hells yeah, we are. Let's do it.
The Carrier Experience Podcast is a show for anyone who wants to grow their agency and be a titan of the insurance industry. Learn from a panel of experts who share their agency struggles, their experiences with the nation's best carriers, and share the marketing secrets that successful insurance agents are using today. Now, here's your host, the insurance bro, James Cias.
And as usual, it is never going to get old.
We do love that quite a bit. So today's going to be kind of an interesting one. We don't have an article to go off of. This was something that I had had in my head. I was like, one of the things that... Before I get into all that, thank you so much for the reminder. Before I get into all of the content of today's show and the things that we're going to be talking about, just a quick reminder. First of all, thank you everybody who is tuning in, who's hopping on to check us out. I'm really excited to share today's subject matter with you. Really excited about that. But definitely please do give us a like, give us a follow, leave us a review, drop us a note, all this good stuff on whichever platform it is that you're listening to us on. If you're on YouTube, hit that subscribe button. If you're listening to us on iTunes or Spotify, hopefully you already did that. We really appreciate a rate, a review, and help us show up higher on these search results so that more insurance agents can gain knowledge from the stuff that we're sharing here. And yeah, I'll read that off too. If you want to be a guest, go to www.insurancebroShow.com/guest. You got to put that www in there because otherwise it kind of errors out. It's weird. We'll fix it. But other than that, follow me on all social media platforms at Insurance Bro Show. I almost said ham again. At Insurance Bro Show. All right. So, now that we got all of that good stuff out of the way, one of the things that I have focused on a lot this year has been CRM automations. When we first started our agency several years back, it was a lot of figuring things out and, writing things on your calendar and trying to remember to call your customers back or call this person back or, all these different things. And I've gotten to a point now where I know that certain tasks, certain activities are always going to follow a similar pattern. And so when they follow this pattern, one of the best things that I've done, one of the best things that potentially you could do for your agency is to create automatic reminders or automated tasks. There's a lot of tools out there that can help you do this. I utilize three main ones. The first one is Google Forms. If I want to submit anything, if I want to get something going on a quick Google form, it's really easy to use. Setting up a Google form and as an intake sheet is really, really easy. The only issue that I had with Google Forms is that it doesn't necessarily integrate with my CRM software very well. Google Forms are fantastic intake forms, but there is a little bit of a disconnect when you're trying to get all of that information into your CRM. So I use Zapier. Probably a lot of people have heard about Zapier. It's pretty popular out there. It's all over the place. What Zapier does, Zapier, I'm not sure, Zapier, what this program does is it allows these two programs, these two softwares to communicate even though they're not directly connected. So Zapier acts as the middleman. So all the information goes from Google over to Zapier and then right back into the CRM so that I can actually utilize all of that information and get some good stuff going from it. So I'm just going to show a few things here just specifically on how all of that gets set up. Yeah, so let me do a quick share screen here. And whoop, 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 we're going into the infinite. All right, so this is a quick idea, a quick view of what our stuff looks like. I wonder if I should have blocked out those names. Whatever. Hopefully, doesn't cost us anything. So this is Pipedrive. This is my CRM. So what I really want to do, what I really want to show you is in any of these systems, you're going to find some kind of a workflow automation. If we get into Zapier, you'll find something similar. You're going to find some kind of an automation. So if we log into this one, here's our zaps. We're creating zaps. We're creating these automations. And so you can see that what this one does is if somebody wants to add a driver, it gets the add driver request from the Google form and moves it into Pipedrive. And within Pipedrive, I've got a bunch of other automations. So I'll run you through the first ones that I created. It's going to take a second to get all the way down to the bottom because I have so many automations running. And this is one of the things that this is the work of a CEO or an agency owner who is working on their business and not in their business. I want to make sure that I kind of highlight that. This is the work of a CEO that's working on their business and not in their business. An insurance agent who is working in their business is not going to be focused on creating these types of systems. Your focus is on generating revenue, right? It's on following up with your customers. It's on presenting, negotiating, and closing the deal. Those are the things that you as a insurance agent are worried about. But if you are running an agency, if you are out here, managing a team of people and you've got account managers and you've got all these different things going on, you want to set something up that's going to help you automate a lot of these processes. So we'll jump right into the first one. I'm just going to, there we go. There's the button. And you know what? Let me make sure that, because this always happens too, it gets too small for people to actually see. So this is how it works. As soon as a submission is received for our team, it can be either through a Google form or within our website. If I can find it, there we go. We've got these commercial forms. So our agents can get in here and request a general liability or BOP quote, a workers' comp quote, commercial auto, whatever the case might be. And when they fill out this form, you can see it's got all the same basic information that you as an agent would otherwise be working on. So how long in business, more than one location, annual gross sales, right? Limits, include umbrella, yes or no. So all this good stuff. When this form is created and submitted, there's an automation written here in Pipedrive that says, okay, as soon as this submission is received, it's going to send an email to me, and it's going to tell me that a new deal has been added. What do I have to do? It says a new deal has been added to Pipedrive, and it must be assigned to my staff, to my quoting staff. So somebody in here has got to get in there and start working on it, but I need to assign it to that person. This is something that I've done for scalability. So as we grow, I'm going to continue to be the person in charge of assigning those tasks. It doesn't take any real work to do that. But if and when I replace myself, then this email will get sent to that person or to that team. These are things that the automation is still able to do. It doesn't have to be to a specific person. It can also be to a team. And so the first thing, again, is it tells me I need to assign the deal to somebody that's going to quote it, and it automatically creates a deadline. So when this comes in, we've got 2 weeks to get this thing done. Our goal is 48 hours, but there's most times the submission is incomplete. In other words, we need to go back to the agent and ask for a little bit more information, or maybe it needs to be reviewed by underwriting or whatever the case might be. So if any of that information is missing or required, then we'll go back and then it might take a little bit longer. It won't be a 48-hour turnaround like we hope. But again, so we got to assign the deal to an account manager, and all of these are activities that get created. So let's see here. I'm going to try something while we're sitting here. I'm going to go to our commercial submissions, and I'm just going to create a test, and let's see what happens. Boom, there it is. So here's our test deal. And you can see immediately, as soon as we create the deal, it says, all right, I've got to assign this to an account manager. So the first thing I do is I come right up here and I assign it to an account manager. Who's it going to be? It doesn't matter. I have these options. I can pick whoever I want. As soon as I assign it to an account manager, you see all of these other automated tasks come up. The account manager needs to request loss runs, create a Slack channel, which is where we do all of our communication, and they're going to review the agent's submission and do research. So there would be a completed form that would have been filled out, and our account manager is just going to review that information, check for anything that's missing, do a little bit of research, and start going in there. They're also going to call the agent to do an overview. Nan, you feel free to stop me if you have any questions, by the way.
Oh, no, I'm learning at the same time you're doing it. So I like this whole automation thing.
It's pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
So that's what all of these things do. So, all right. So this was the first one that I showed you. It sends me an email, creates the activity to close or mark as lost by this date. In other words, that's our deadline. We need to either close the sale or mark the deal as lost. We don't want to sit here and wait for, a bunch of stuff. Deal gets assigned to an account manager, bada bing, bada boom. And now we go all the way back and you can see all of these automations that I've written. So there's a ton of them. And now it gets into the next stage. So what happens at the next stage? Basically, we're going to say, okay, so we've reached out to the agent or to the customer, or to the carrier, the other carrier. We've got the loss runs. Great. We created our Slack channel so that we can have communications internally about this deal. Done. We reviewed the submission. We've done all the research. Excellent. And we have called the agent for the deal overview, so we know everything that we need to know. We've identified gaps in required information. We call the agent. We've got the lay of the land. We've researched everything the way that we're supposed to, and we have emailed a conversation to the agent to remind them of what we've talked about. Everything's done. Cool. Next, we just move it on to the next stage. We move it on to step 2, and watch this. As soon as we move it to stage 2, whoop, 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 there's a few more automatically created activities. So it tells our account reps, it tells our processing team exactly what needs to be done. The first thing we need to do, we're going to jump into EasyLinks and we're going to verify that that all of the customer information is in EasyLinks. So basically we're matching up our CRM with our agency management system. And let me throw this little caveat out here for you guys. We use EasyLinks, and EasyLinks actually has a lot of this stuff built in. The only thing is, like I'm showing you with all of these automations that I've written, I would have to rewrite them all to switch over to EasyLinks, and that is a ton of work, first of all. Secondly, I don't know for sure if it's going to transfer quite as easily as I might hope. There might be some things that are missing, some gaps. I know for one thing, as an example, let me go back to our deals. We have all these different stages: the received stage, EasyLinks and shopping target carriers, pending info, carrier underwriter review, wholesalers, binder pack, bind policy, and bound. From my understanding, I am not even able to create all of those different stages. There are a default set of stages in the EasyLink system, and that's what you get. So that is one of the reasons why we haven't switched over to doing this directly within EasyLinks. Now, one thing that I could look into that I haven't looked into yet is using Zapier to make sure that all of the information from Pipedrive automatically gets input into EasyLinks. So that's definitely something that I can write down and plan out a little bit later. But so you're seeing all of these submissions. So here we go. We verified the information is in EasyLinks. We've assigned the deal to the correct agent. Everything's good to go. And then we're going to shop our preferred markets. So we have a whole list. And I've got all this stuff saved all over the place, so ignore that. We're gonna have to edit that out or something. But there was some passwords on there and things that we're gonna have to fix that. But anywho, I think this one will be good. Yeah, this one's good. Okay, so here we go. Here's our top 10 carriers. This is what we want to go after, right? So we're going to use our target carriers list, and we're going to take notes on each of these risks that is submitted. So we'll create a new note right up here, paste this stuff right up here, and we're going to say, okay, nationwide, quote received for $1,000, whatever, who knows. So this note needs to get pinned to the top so that we can always see it as soon as we get into this deal. It's always going to be right up here at the top. And so we know just by jumping into it, there will be a quick idea. Okay, so we've gone to this carrier, this carrier, this carrier, this carrier, and this is the information that we've received from each one. Okay, so cool. We've shopped all of our preferred carriers. If information is required from the agent, we're going to request either through Pipedrive or through Slack, and we're going to move it to stage 3. Stage 3 is pending info from agent, right? If it's sent to underwriter for review, we email the underwriter via Pipedrive and move to stage 4. So one of the things that I keep saying here is requesting via Pipedrive, email underwriting via Pipedrive. So this Pipedrive system is attached to my email. So I can send Hernan at business. No, it's CS First, right?
Yeah.
At csfirst.com. Business Bros. And I can just send an email directly through this system. And when I do that, it gets logged somewhere in here. It's probably going to take a second for it to refresh, but it'll get logged and it will be always available as part of the customer file.
So all the communication sits in your database in the whole sales process. So anybody who goes into this process knows exactly what carriers were shopped, exactly what communications were made. Everything is sitting in one spot.
And that is how we scale, right? Because if one person is sick or, whatever, doesn't show up, stops working there, quits, whatever. All of this information is there and equally shared. And that's why also we use Slack the way that we do. When it comes to emails, oh man, have you ever tried to follow an email thread? Like, how annoying is it? Like, trying to figure out, first of all, you're reading from bottom to top, right? Yeah. Which is frustrating to begin with. And then you have to click where it says show all quoted information or whatever, previously quoted information. And then if you have a signature like mine, right? My signatures, I got the podcast information both for Business Bros and for the Insurance Bros show. And then I've got, all of my agency information. And I've got all my contact information and all the states that I'm licensed in or that our agency is licensed in.
So I've got this big really long.
And trying to search that whole stupid thing. So Slack is a lot easier. Slack is you create a channel and all of the communication happens right there within that channel, and you're reading it top to bottom like if it was any other
thread,
any other chat. and you can bring whatever team members into the chat that you would like. It makes it so much easier. So that's why we use Slack as our internal communications tool, and we try to use email only for our external communications. Where am I at on time? Because I'm not looking at that
You got
screen.
about 10 minutes.
I'm at 10 minutes.
No, you're at 20. You got about 10
Oh,
minutes.
okay,
left.
I got about 10 minutes left. Okay, cool. Well, I'll get through as much of this as I can. But so we shop our preferred carriers, cool beans. Let's say that we don't need any information from the agent. We don't need a carrier underwriter review. We're just going to go ahead. Oh, here's another one. If it goes to wholesalers. So this happens all the time, right? You have a piece of business and you try to send it to all of your top carriers, right? These are all your top carriers, and it's just not a fit for any of them. Maybe it's a lapse in coverage. Maybe there's special things that need to happen. So you got to drop that to your wholesalers. So check out what happens when we move it to the wholesaler section. Boom. First of all, we're going to email the agent and say, hey, listen, this is going to surplus markets, so it's going to take a little more time than usual. Okay, cool. Thanks. Just FYI. Now, our managers know, our account managers know they need to generate the accords and fill out the supplementals. So they've got 2 days to get all that stuff done, right? Should be, immediate, but there's always all kinds of stuff going on. And yeah, so we generate the accords, fill those out, and then we go and start emailing wholesalers. Send them out a couple at a time. Let's make sure that everything's good to go. It could be, your standard operating procedures could be that you email all of your wholesalers at one time. We have found that just emailing a couple at a time works better for us. So that's what we do. We email our wholesalers, and then we've got, notice, 2 deadlines. So this tells me to mark the previous deadline as done because we extended out because it's wholesalers. We know that it's going to take longer. So we mark the other one as done, and now we're just waiting for this one. One of the things that I do as I'm getting through this, if it gets to that deadline, it doesn't necessarily mean that the deal is dead. There could be, still a lot of work that's being processed. So what I'll do is I'll go in here and I'll say, you know what? First extension. I'll say that didn't work out. I'm just going to extend it by a day, or usually it's a week, but whatever. And then I go in there. If that doesn't happen, I move it and I say second extension and I move it to the next one. So, there's a lot of things that are automated and still some things that are human controlled so that we can track where our business is and what's, everything that's going on with it. So we've gone to our wholesalers. We've done everything that we needed to. We got our quote back. Now we move it into the binder pack stage. And what the binder pack is, it's a cover page. Right, here we go. Here's our cover page. We got to create the cover page for the agent that lists the proposal, the line of business, all the agent information, payment pages, all this good stuff. We also attach, of course, the proposal itself. We will follow up with the agent to make sure that this thing is getting sold, because it'll sit here in this binder pack stage. We'll say, hey, here's your binder pack. Here you go. And then it's up to the agent to make the sale. So for us on our end, we're just following up with the agent to say, did you sell it yet? 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 And it's a nudge to the agent to remind them that they've got this business pending. For me personally, I know that I have, 100 things going on every day. And so when my account managers are coming back and saying, hey, what's going on with XYZ client? And I'm like, oh yeah, I got to call them. Right. It's one of those things that it's just a constant reminder. And, I think it's helpful to new agents who are still learning the flow of things. So once we've done all of that, we can go ahead and bind the policy, and we've got all of our binding procedures right in here. So our account managers are following every single one of these steps to make sure that it's done correctly. Once it's bound, throw it into the bound section, and we've got two ways. It's either bound direct, meaning that it's direct billed, and the insurance carrier is going to send the bill to the agent. We don't need to worry about it. We don't need to do anything else. Maybe we were able to make the payment online at the carrier's website. Either way, it's not coming to the agency. There's no transaction going through our trust account. Otherwise, if it's going through our trust account, here's the instructions that need to be done here. Mark all activities complete and mark the deal as won. And that
Woohoo! That's a cool little animation there.
And that is how automation works in our agency.
Dude, that's a lot of stuff, man. And this is why when you talk to new people who just got their license and they're wondering what agency they're going to go to, these are some of the things that you need to kind of check into yourself as a new insurance agent. Are you just going to go in and they're just going to kind of say, okay, go ahead, figure it out? Or are you looking for an agency that's going to help you get things in process? Somebody who has a team in the back end designed and ready to go for you so you can produce. Because that's really what it's all about. Anybody who's going to get into a new profession needs to find mentors, needs to find people who are already doing what it is that they want done. And our program is specifically created. We have all these automations designed for that new agent, for that agent who has never done anything before. They don't know what the next step is. They're like, what does the Joker say? I'm like a dog chasing cars. I wouldn't know what to do if I got one, right? That's what a new agent is like. Yep. They got business. They don't know what to do with the business. And that's what the automation process, and that's what we do at Pipeline Insurance, is we help you, the new agent, have a system in place. We have your back so that you can go out there and just continue to do what you do. We just talk to more people, tell them what it is you do, and find ways to mitigate the risks that they're walking into in their particular businesses. So that automation process, I know it's a lot. And we called it a deep dive, but we barely skimmed the surface. I mean, you saw all those different automation rules. There's a lot that goes in there.
See, everything that I just showed is basically the finished product. Mm-hmm. The hours of work that went into creating those automations, that's where, again, the real work is. That's an agency owner, a CEO who is working on their business, not in their business.
So that system is ready and ready to go and scalable. So that's the thing that we talk about. You want to build an insurance agency. You want to build a book of business that lasts a long time. You want to build a true business where when you go on vacation, your paycheck doesn't go with you on vacation, right? You want to make sure that you go on vacation and your business is still operational. You need to have automations and things like this in place, systems like this in place, so that your business is operating, whether or not you're there physically pushing a button or not, or you have a team member taking care of that. Dude, kudos to you for all that hard work, dude. That's a lot. And that's just, and by the way, that's some of the processes. I mean, that's not even including our onboarding processes. Mm-hmm, We're currently working on our marketing and recruitment processes. I mean, there's a ton of them. This is just the back end support. So if you have business to write and you're worried about, I don't know how to write business in insurance, I don't know what to do, that's why you want to hit us up. Find out more information by going to www.pipelineinsurance.com/agent opportunities, because we want to be able to provide you with all the tools necessary so that you can be successful in this business. And in this business, it comes down to how much time do you have in a 24-hour day. We just cut a ton of time from your own workload if you have a team like this backing you up. So check out, again, www.pipelineinsurance.com/agent opportunities. Follow James at Insurance Bro Show so you guys can get more information on becoming an agent or finding out more information about how we run our agency.
Yep. Happy to share all this stuff with anybody who requests it. It's all fun.
Dude, heck of a job today, Ham.
Sweet. All right. Well, that'll do it then. Again, as always, thank you for everybody who tunes in. I really appreciate every single one of you. You all have my heart. Wait, what do I say? You rock my socks and you have my heart. That's what it was. I'm like, wait, I missed one. Anyways, other than that,
have a nice day. Thank you for tuning in to the Carrier Experience Podcast. James is the CEO of the Pipeline team of San Diego and is always in the market for top talent. If you are an agent looking for a place to hang your license, visit pipelineinsurance.com/agent opportunities or send an email to newagent@pipelineinsurance.com. You can find James on all social media at Insurance Broham.